Hello there everyone, What Culture's Adam Cleary here, and today we have to talk about franchises. Movie franchises, to be specific, not McDonald's. The search for an eternally successful movie franchise is Hollywood's equivalent of like the Holy Grail or something. It might not exist, but they're still determined to do everything they can to try and find it, the big dopes. I mean, realistically, there are now about a gajillion franchises in the world of cinema, and of all of those, 2 have kept some level of consistency throughout. Like, you've got James Bond, and even that had its moments of Madonna, let's say, and the MCU, but even that's only 10 years old. Pretty much everything else has been, no matter how well it started, on some kind of irreversible critical decline. Like, some come back up, some are never as bad as people say they are, but some just take a and die. Worryingly though, there are some treasured cinematic properties that look to be on the way to doing precisely that, but still, all is not lost. They can be salvaged if they just remember what made them great in the first place. So let's look at those, shall we? My name is Adam Cleary, I've already said that, and these are 10 movie franchises that need to get back to their roots. Number 10, Ghostbusters. Right, so I'm not gonna get into the whole other Ghostbusters film. Like, it was funny how much it wound people on the internet up, but that was about the only thing that was funny. However, with the news that Ivan Reitman's son Jason is about to helm the upcoming Ghostbusters 3, hope springs eternal that they are gonna get back to the charm of the first 2. Dan Aykroyd certainly thinks so anyway, saying in an interview that they are making an effort to bring back all the emotion and the spirit, pun presumably intended, of the first 2 movies and then take it into the 21st century, which is where we live. And if you're wondering where Bill Murray's going to be during all of this, he also goes on to say that it's so good he'll come even if he has to play a ghost, which sounds like a threat to me. Anyway, yes, Ghostbusters coming back to its roots and hopefully not upsetting scores of weird men on the internet in the process this time. Number 9, Star Trek. Straight up, right, I absolutely loved Star Trek when I was growing up, so naturally I was frothing at the proverbial gash for J.J. Abrams' updated reboot. I can't believe I said frothing at the gash. Anyway though, rather than boldly going where no Star Trek film had gone before, by the time we got to Star Trek Beyond, it was all just clunky dialogue and predictable set pieces and a completely pointless, weightless plot. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that movie, but that was about all I did. I will just address the incredibly sweary elephant in the room, brrr, you bastard, etc. The Quentin Tarantino thing still may or may not happen. I know it's meant to be confirmed, but I will literally not believe that until I actually see it, which means there is scope and potential for the next film to get back to these brilliant philosophical roots that Gene Roddenberry buried it in when he first wrote the TV show. So yes, please, that's what they need to do. Less Star Trek, more smart Trek. Number 8, Superman. One of the most common criticisms of Zack Snyder's Superman movies, Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, you have seen them, is that he was so desperate to strive for that really serious, meh tone that Christopher Nolan gave to Batman. Snyder's idea of Supes was all like angsty and just miserable, whereas what made Christopher Reeve's portrayal so compelling was just how much fun you could tell he was having in that role. Like, Superman is meant to be good crack. You leave all the goth stuff to Batman. And while, yes, shockingly, there are no Superman films currently in the pipeline, when they do inevitably bring this character back, they need to focus on not Superman, but Clark Kent. They need to invest in that part of the character. It's what makes the whole thing work. Like, he is this faux, awkward super being pretending to be a loser human, even though he's literally Superman. Like, that's what you watch it for. Number 7, Resident Evil. Just make it like the first few games. The first few games are really good, and the films all blow. That's it. Number 6, Alien. Okay, so in terms of franchises still actively doing the rounds in Hollywood, Alien is outlived only by, what, Star Wars, Bond, Rocky. I think they did a Police Academy film the other year. Problem is though, since Aliens, it's been this hot mess of like stories and styles and tones and themes and crossovers and timelines and predators and just after Covenant, they just went, nah, this is a mess, let's completely bin it all off, which is ironic because Covenant was meant to be the film that got it back to its chest-busting roots. The problem was, and this is what directly killed Covenant, that less has always been more when it comes to Alien. It did not need all of that world building. Like, think how scary the first one was. It was because you had no idea what this thing was or where it came from or what it wanted. They completely destroyed that when they started giving you a tawdry origin story. No, bad, dumb. So, dead easy to fix this one. Just make the next Alien film a minimalist science fiction horror movie first, and then maybe a bit of an action film second. Just drop any long-winded scene that is just purely exposition. Just get rid of it and have people in corridors on spaceships with orange lights going around and something creeping around the corner. That's all you gotta do. Number 5, Predator. Time to face facts here, my friends. The Predator was a complete and utter disappointment. Story, bad. Performances, bad. Dialogue, bad. That tamed predator dog thing on a leash, bad. Contrast the sprawling, vomiting mess of The Predator with how tight and well put together the first film was. That was a lean, mean action sci-fi film, and then by the time we're in 2018, I think when that one came out, it's incoherent, it's a mess. It doesn't know when it's supposed to be serious and scary and when it's supposed to drop the killer line of dialogue before you nearly said bust a cap there, but that's outdated, before you pop one off. Let's go with that. One thing it has still got going for it, though, is it has not dropped down to a PG-13 rating, which is the absolute kiss of death for anything that labours under the idea of being a gruesome action film. So what it needs to do... Right, I'll just drop the pretense here. Just get Arnie back. That's it. Just get Arnie back. I don't care how old he is. I don't care what he looks like now. I don't care that his face is kind of doing that weird cat thing when you've had a bit of work. Just put him back in the jungle. Put him back in the jungle. Have him fight Predator. That's your next Predator film. I'll watch it. Number 4, Indiana Jones. Hey, remember when they brought this back? The familiar plot and characters we all know and love, except now they're all just stale and awkward and weird. And the traditional set pieces that made the first films what they were, except now they're just mostly shoddy CGI. And the traditional rough and tumble violence that's just now not there at all, is it? Plus aliens. So how do you fix it? Well, some people will tell you they need to take the role of Indiana Jones and hand it over to a younger actor who is capable of revitalizing the character somewhat while staying true to the core of the original, like Chris Pratt. But sorry, we've already been told that the next Indiana Jones film will still star Harrison Ford, so tough. But they have dropped Shia LaBeouf's character, thank Christ for that. So all you need to do now is just rein in all the writing excesses and replace the shoddy visual effects for more practical stunt work. And there you go. You have an Indiana Jones film. Not hard. Number 3, Jurassic Park. Okay, just take a seat for a second. Before we start, I just need to say that I am a staunch defender of the Jurassic whatever films having the right to suck. Because since the first one came out, nothing has come along since that has done dinosaur films better than they have. And until something does, they can be as bad as they want to be, I'm still gonna watch them. But, and this is mighty ironic, the films themselves have suffered from the same problems as the fictional parks. They fundamentally believe that to keep people coming in, they need newer, bigger, grander, more arousing attractions, and thus we get these like weird super predator gene-spliced dinosaurs when we're not here for that. We just... Brontosaurus is nice, thank you. Everyone in them now just sort of like runs around in a panic, screaming away from the big thing or the exploding thing or the evil thing. And think back to the first Jurassic Park movie. How much headless running was done in that film? There was the scene with the Gallimimuses, and that was really good because it wasn't about the fact they were running, it was about Alan bonding with the children. The films were about the characters getting caught up with all this dinosaur stuff going on around them, and they haven't done that for like 5 films now. Return, please, I beg of you, to something smaller in scope. Make the action more intimate and quiet and closed and just dialed down so that when you do see the big dinosaur, it feels that much bigger as a result. Get back to the character work, get back to the story development, get back to the relationships between the people trapped in this god-awful prehistoric mess, please. Number 2, X-Men. Can I just say, give this to Marvel and then just...
No, you've already done the jokey short one. You can't do it twice.
Fair. Yeah, right then. Got a lot of thoughts on this one. Dark Phoenix was bad. Alright, yeah, no, sorry, I'll actually try. Franchise fatigue, confusing plots, storylines, messed up everything. The X-Men have been circling the drain for a long old while now, and they have no idea what they are doing anymore. Like, case in point, in the space of 9 in-universe years, Charles Xavier and Magneto must age from this to this. That's, in their universe, that's 1991 to the year 2000. The hell. The problem is that Fox have absolutely no idea what to do with all these characters and all these stories that they've just piled on top of each other for however many films it was they ended up making. Like, even when they tried to reboot the thing and take it back into the past and strip it all down, they still had to bring with them loads and loads of baggage and try and get it all to connect up again. It's just total mess. Disney have it now, so let it die for a bit. Let it breathe for a bit. Let us all forget about these characters and the horrible things that you've done with them, and then bang, hit us with the New Mutants, hit us with Gambit, hit us with a new Wolverine, hit us with whatever you want, daddy, please, and then we'll all just get on with it and it'll be good. Number 1, Terminator. Bit of a running theme with these, isn't there? Like, massive, awesome film that then gets sort of franchised out, peaks within the first 2 films somewhere, and then just this inescapable, awful decline in quality just as the studios wring every goddamn penny they possibly can out of them. I wish there was a wider lesson to be learned from all this, but it's escaping me. Anyway, the impending mess of Terminator Dark Fate makes it look like, as far as this franchise is concerned, it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better. Like, yes, Arnie's back and he's brought Katie Hopkins with him this time, but who knows what's going on here anymore? And who cares? Hope is not lost here, friends, and that is the underlying message of this entire video, because even if this film sucks, does look like it's going to suck, they have at least recognized the components that make a good Terminator film. They've gone and got all the proper cast. They've binned off all the films that made no sense. They've got the right director back in. They've kept the R rating. So even if we're still on the slide here, this does imply we might come back out of it. Even if this one is another critical washout, they will still probably strip it all back even further and make another one in the near future. Because of course they will, because they still make money, and hooray, hooray for money. So there you go, let us know what you made of it in the comments below, and of course don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Now you might be sitting there thinking, Adam, when are you going to get back to your roots? And to that I say, do not be confused by these rocks that I've got. I am still Cleary from the block. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and also goodbye.